Hi everyone, hope you are doing well from wherever you're watching this channel, depending on your time zone. Now, it is emerging that the Nairobi gubernatorial race has narrowed down to two individuals. That is Senator Johnson Sakaja and Polycarp Igathe. Those are the people you have to watch in this race. In as much this is what the people of Nairobi have on the table, Raila Jr. and PAULINE NJOROGE have a message for Johnson Sakaja and the entire people of Nairobi County. What matters in Raila Jr.'s message to Johnson Sakaja is how he will take that message and use it. And again, what matters in these two individuals' message to the people of Nairobi is how they are going to interpret what Junior and PAULINE NJOROGE are saying. This is what Raila Jr. shared on his Twitter handle. As much as people may like Sakaja Johnson, the simple fact remains that voting him in is handing William Ruto a cash 38 billion economy in the middle of an Azimio government. We will experience a Kimarer every year. That is Raila Odinga Jr. This is what PAULINE NJOROGE is saying. True story. You imagine Ruto being out of national government, but having a UDA governor in Nairobi. Our capital's resources would be used to certify unprecedented, insatiable, greedy, and everything would collapse. That is PAULINE NJOROGE reacting to Raila Odinga Jr.'s tweet. Now, we want to check if there is some truth in what Raila Jr. and PAULINE NJOROGE are saying, and the possibility of who between these two can win the Nairobi gubernatorial seat. But before we go deep into that, just a quick request. You might be watching this channel, but you have not yet subscribed. So my humble request, please consider subscribing so that another time, once we release a video like this one, you will always get notified. Again, to all our channel subscribers and anyone who drop comment, I must say thank you so much for your unconditional support. Again, I'm requesting you to give this video a thumbs up so that YouTube can recommend our videos to more viewers. Back to our discussion. Now, there is two things Junior is talking about. Number one, voting for Sakaja is handing over Nairobi to William Ruto. Number two, if you have voted in Sakaja, that means you have handed over Nairobi County to William Ruto. It means you will be encouraging another Kimarer after every year. That means after every year, there will be corruption scandals within Nairobi. We understand Sakaja is running for Nairobi gubernatorial seat on UDA ticket. That means his party leader is William Ruto. So what Junior is saying is that Ruto will be the one controlling Nairobi through Sakaja. So that means Sakaja will not be using his own mind to lead the people of Nairobi in case he get a chance to be elected as the next governor. The third governor of Nairobi. Not the third, by the way. If he will be elected as the fourth governor, because tulikuwa na Kedero number 1, Mike Sonko number 2, Ann Kananwa Manenani number 3. Sasa Sakaja ama Polycarp Igathe will be the fourth governor of Nairobi. So that means you will be encouraging or inviting William Ruto to take over the leadership of Nairobi County. Nairobi means a lot for everyone in this country. That's where the resources in this country is concentrated. And so to me, what Junior is talking about again is a challenge to Senator Sakaja. If Sakaja wants people to believe that what Junior is saying is not true, then he should get out of William Ruto umbrella and be Sakaja himself, not someone who is being driven by William Ruto to lead Nairobi County. What comes out of how Senator Sakaja is looking for the vote within Nairobi is that it is William Ruto who is pushing Sakaja to the people of Nairobi. Like mainly you see, William Ruto is the one in charge of organizing and coming to Nairobi people to campaign for Sakaja. So Sakaja should organize his own rallies. Let him be himself. And let the people of Nairobi see Sakaja coming to them as an individual and not a project of William Ruto. Because what Junior is saying here is that Sakaja is a project of William Ruto. And the main reason Ruto is bringing Sakaja to Nairobi, it is not because he wants Sakaja to lead. It is because he understands that through Sakaja there can be a possibility of winning that seat. And that his plan is to lead Nairobi through Sakaja. So his plan is not for Sakaja to win election. His plan is to take control of Nairobi. What matters is Sakaja winning for him to take that control. And Pauline NJOROGE is saying something here. If, just imagine Ruto is not in the government and UDA happen to take over the leadership of Nairobi, they have been tagging William Ruto on a number of corruption cases. Wao wanamtaja, mimi sijui. But they are saying that if Ruto is not in power and is controlling Nairobi, you can imagine how looting will be encouraged in Nairobi. That is Pauline NJOROGE. So according to these two, Nairobi will be looted to the core if they give a chance to Sakaja. So that is a challenge to Sakaja to see on how he's going to approach these people. Is it that he's going to approach these people as a UDA candidate or a William Ruto candidate? Now, that aside, possibilities of Sakaja winning and the possibilities of Polycarp Igathe winning election in Nairobi. Look at this. Already these people have been challenged and warned by Junior, NJOROGE, Pauline, and other people that you should not vote for Sakaja because Sakaja will not be leading. It will be someone else controlling Sakaja. That's a warning. Now come to the real numbers. Sakaja has assimilated, and sided with the Luya community. In as much they will say is a Sabaot. The mother could be a Luya. Vile watu wanasema, mimi sisemi kitu hapa. That means possibilities of Luyas voting for Sakaja is there because he has associated with them more than how he has associated with the Kalenjin. So he will get the Luya votes because Luyas were disgruntled when Tim Wanyonyi was stopped to pave way for Polycarp Igathe. So Luyas will vote for Sakaja. That's the truth. Most of them, they will vote for Sakaja because of how Tim Wanyonyi was treated within Azimio. If it was Raila to make a choice for the people of Nairobi, without blinking an eye, Raila could have chosen Tim Wanyonyi. But because of competing interest, Raila had no option but to let President Uhuru Kenyatta have his way through Polycarp Igathe. So, Luya vote is not enough to make Sakaja the next governor of Nairobi. That is another truth. We have the Kikuyu factor. We have the Kamba factor. And now, we have the Luo factor. Because Raila has endorsed Polycarp Igathe, Luos are going to vote in that direction. Because Polycarp Igathe has someone from Ukambani as his running mate. Then the people of Ukambani are going to vote for that ticket. Remember, Sakaja running mate is from Mount Kenya, not a Kamba. So Kambas are going to rally behind Polycarp Igathe. And now the Kikuyu community is in the middle of this politics, where in one side they have a deputy governor running to Sakaja. In the other hand, there is one of their own on that ballot. So it is them to make a decision between going for a DG position or a governor position. Of course, they are going to vote for one of their own. They rather take a governor position and not a deputy governor position. So most of the Kikuyu community are going to vote for Polycarp Igathe. That alone make Polycarp Igathe to have more votes than what Sakaja can get in Nairobi. The Luya vote is not enough. Even if you add in the Kalenjin votes, na mimi wanasema hapa kila siku, hata ukichukua all the Kalenjin people in Nairobi uweke in one corner, they cannot manage to elect an MCA in Nairobi. Their numbers is very low. They cannot. So Luyas and the Kalenjins, with the few Kikuyus within Nairobi, cannot make Sakaja the next governor. Because of what I have explained to you. So Polycarp is standing a good chance. But Polycarp also needs to play his politics very smart. Remember, Sakaja is a politician. Polycarp Igathe is not a politician. Polycarp Igathe has come from the corporate world. The biggest mistake Polycarp Igathe is doing is how is handling the issues of the church within Nairobi. We know very well that there are so many churches in Nairobi that are sitting on grabbed lands. Mashamba mengi yaliibwa, yalipokonywa, yaliporwa, yenye wamejenga makanisa. That one we know. But I was reading in the Star how Polycarp Igathe is warning the church on how many of these churches are sitting on this grabbed land. So meaning it's promising to return the land back. He is right, but politically he is wrong. If that direction is going to, he should be aware. There is someone who can tap into that and turn that weapon against him. Then the church is going to protest against Polycarp Igathe and vote for his opponent. There are so many churches in Nairobi. People are going to the church. And the churches will also influence on how people are going to vote in whichever area. That's why you see these politicians will always go to the church. So Igathe can have a plan on how to return the land, but it is not the right time during this campaign to talk about the issue of land and the church in Nairobi. He will be seen as a threat to the pastors and bishops in Nairobi, you know. And even church members. You can imagine telling a church that this land is not yours, and now they have to start from zero, raising funds, harambes, to buy the land. That's a baggage to the church. So in one hand, Ruto is promising, together with the Sakaja, that they are going to hand over title deeds to the church. They will give them land to build their own churches, church structure. And in the other hand, Polycarp Igathe is condemning them of stealing. So what wataenda wapi? And what am I saying? Polycarp Igathe should be careful on how he's approaching the Nairobi politics and the issue of the church. Remember, William Ruto and his running mate, Rigathi Gachagua, they have been talking about how Mama Ida Odinga is against some church. They want to regulate the church. And they have been running away with this one to warn and induce fear among the bishops in the church against voting for Raila because he's planning to regulate the church. So what matters is how Polycarp will also play his politics. It is not sure 100% that he will get the support we have talked about. What matters is how he's going to carry himself. So again, a change can emerge in Nairobi, because he might become an enemy of the church. And protest might emerge on ballot. I don't know what to think about this, but that's my view. Otherwise, thank you so much for listening to me up to this. May good God bless you, and see you in our next video.